Welcome to More Patience, More Impact, More Income, the podcast for real holistic medical practitioners who want to grow their high-impact, high-income practice without selling out. And now, here's your host, Chris Axelrad.
You're listening to More Patience, More Impact, More Income. Today, we have something a little different for you, and it's just too good to limit to one episode. Here's Chris with part one of the series.
Today, we are going to talk about filling your schedule with the power of simplified messaging. And this is a this is where it's all at. This is like the nuclear fuel of really building a huge, very successful practice without a lot of legwork. And one of the things that I am huge on, and I'm fortunate in a way that I was forced to do this early on in my practice because I was working a full-time job as a software engineer while I was trying to build my practice. Because when I finished school, I still had, kids. Still have kids, but they're grown up now. But I had kids, I had a mortgage, I had, I couldn't just, drop everything, quit my job, and then start my practice from scratch. So I had to really make that transition in place. So yeah, it was like a pretty serious thing, man, like trying to make all that happen. And one of the things it forced me to do was to really learn how to market with minimal time commitment and maximum exposure. So that's what my main thing is, that's what I teach. This is the simplified messaging is the most critical thing that you could possibly implement for yourself. We're going to go through today, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. So in our last episode, we learned the key to eliminating all the hard effort from your marketing so patients continually seek you out. And we learned the perpetual patient attraction loop, what it is, why it works so well, went over that in detail, and the key elements that you need in order to get started with that. And actually, today's training is going to be some of those key elements, right? So pay close attention, okay? Pay attention, take notes, all that good stuff. So here's what we're going to learn today. We're going to learn the one word that gets motivated, committed patients to pay attention and take you seriously, and why most acupuncturists never figure this out. I think most acupuncturists and really a lot of holistic medical practitioners spending a lot of time lamenting and being upset that that nobody takes them seriously. And there's a lot of angst about that. At the end of the day, it's not everyone else's problem. We're going to talk about that. It's really just the fact that those people who whine all the time about nobody takes me seriously and nobody listens to me, they're not taking the time to learn how to create a message that people will actually listen to. That's all. That's the only problem that they have. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. We're going to talk about something your prospect is desperately looking for that is even more important to them than results. They don't even realize this. Okay? But when you know this and you know how to embed it in your marketing, you get people massively attracted to you because of the fact that this is what people are really looking for more so than results. I mean, obviously, they're also looking for results, but this is actually the thing they're looking for even more urgently. And then we're going to get a little sneak peek of the next steps that we're going to cover, which we'll do tomorrow, the third day of Axelrad. Okay. So reminder, the objective of everything that I teach is to accelerate the growth of your practice. Okay. So you can help more people. That's the main thing, helping more people. I mean, yeah, we can make money, and I'm going to show you some of my numbers just so you understand that I actually get these results, that I practice what I preach. But at the end of the day, the money is a natural outcome. The income is a natural outcome of the way that you're showing up to help people and the effectiveness of that. And you want to have more impact as well. So that's what I help you do. And you definitely enjoy a more consistent income once this is all worked out. So that's what I'm trying to help you do. And to be a light in your community as the go-to unquestioned authority in your area of expertise. Really important, okay? Really important. So again, just in case you're just hopping on here for the first time, you've never met me before, I'm just going to tell you really quick a little bit about myself. My name is Chris Axelrad, and I am a master acupuncturist, and I specialize in endocrinology and reproductive medicine using acupuncture, nutrition, a system that I've devised that I'm actually going to start teaching hardcore this year called 5-Element Functional Medicine. And this is me and my staff from about 3 years ago. We've grown since then. We've got 2 more support staff and 1 more acupuncturist. So we actually have 8 people now. It's pretty cool. This is the week of September 30th of this year. This is our calendar. So we have 3 locations. There's 200 appointments. Okay, this is not an abnormal week for us, actually. This is a pretty normal week. Okay, these are our 3 locations. You can see they're Google Map verified. If you want it on my website, that's fine. Go to my website. Look at the section where it says contact us, and you'll see all of our locations. Okay, and here's our Square account, which shows the revenue. And you look at that. That's a month. That's October 2018. We grossed over almost 86,000 in revenue. But if you look at the little heartbeat there, that I call it the heartbeat because that little line, that little graph at the top is the flow of our revenue. And it's very consistent. It's very consistent because we don't sell big packages or make people pay in advance. People literally just pay as they go. They pay as they go. That's it. So that was October. This is the year. So look at the year. Again, look at that heartbeat at the top. You see that little drop off around July. That's just because we take the week of July 4th off. But again, consistency. Very, very consistent. Revenue up until that point, which was early December when I took this screenshot, was over 800,000. And I think we went over 900,000 this year, if I'm not mistaken. So the bottom line is, what I teach works, okay? And if you take it seriously and you put it into practice, the things I teach you today, you will see changes. You will see positive changes. In fact, I talk to a lot of people who apply for my my accelerated growth program and to work with me, because I will work with you directly. And a lot of times they'll tell me that the reason that they're applying and they're wanting to join is because they started doing stuff on their own and it's working, and they just realized that, wow, like I want more of this. So full disclosure, yeah, I love helping people grow in their practice and in their lives, which is one of the reasons I think I love my work so much in clinic too. And I'm good at it. And I would, yes, love to help you grow your practice. And yes, one reason I do these free trainings is to help you decide whether or not you want to work with me. So I offer a free initial consultation for people who are seriously considering working with me and my team. So you can apply. You have to fill out an application first, because we just need to make sure that where you're at, where you want to be, and your goals and all that are going to be aligned with what we're going to offer. So you apply at this URL, chrisaxelrad.com/apply. It takes like 5 minutes to fill out. It's not some long, drawn-out thing. And spots are limited. I only have so much time, and we're actually filling up. We signed up 6 people last week, so it's filling up. So let's talk about the one word that gets motivated, committed patients to pay attention and take you seriously, and why most acupuncturists never figure this out. Okay? So here's a big mistake we make. One of the big mistakes we make in our field is that we are afraid to offer to solve serious problems. We need to stop shying away from offering to solve real problems. I've heard where someone literally told me, one of my students actually, one of my clients in my coaching program told me that literally one of the teachers in the acupuncture school they went to said verbatim pretty much, we can't treat serious diseases. Don't offer to treat. You just have to focus on things like back pain and allergies and headaches and just basic stuff. Like, we can't fix big problems. It's really sad when I hear that, honestly. I just think that that's it. Just to hear that, like, that's what people are being indoctrinated into in the school. And then they wonder why they get out of school and they can't, like, have a successful practice. Okay. And I'm going to explain why in a second, why that's important. Another big mistake that we make is we want to solve everything, right? We want to be the one-stop shop for everybody. We think that holistic means we should offer to treat everything. And in fact, there are people who are kind of militant about that. Like, they're really passionate about the fact that acupuncturists and naturopaths and other types of holistic practitioners shouldn't specialize. Like, it's wrong to specialize, which is really, again, just a total, I don't know. I don't get it, because there's a lot of people who have really serious problems who really want a specialist. Because, like, for instance, if you had a brain tumor, you wouldn't go to a GP and say, hey, can you take out my brain tumor? If you had a brain tumor, you wouldn't go to, an internist or whatever, a chiropractor. I mean, you would go to a freaking neurosurgeon, right? You want someone who not only would you go to a neurosurgeon, you would go to a neurosurgeon who specializes in the kind of tumor that you have, if someone is available like that, right? So people with serious problems look for specialists. And when we offer to solve those specific problems, that doesn't mean we're abandoning our holistic principles. In fact, the holistic principles come more into play, because a lot of these people, the reason that they're not getting better is because nobody else is addressing the root cause. So actually, the fact that we're holistic, that's even more emphasized when we specialize, not less. So another big mistake we make is that we geek out on how cool what we do is. And it is cool. I mean, shoot, it's ancient. It's a very elegant, beautiful model of medicine that I think is just very inspiring and awesome. And that's why we all got into it. And so we geek out on it, and we talk about it, and we love to talk about it. And we love to elaborate on all the different, the 5 elements and the 6 layers, or if for naturopaths, the different aspects of functional medicine and all the different things. I mean, it's amazing, right? But we have to stop talking about it, honestly, because the average person doesn't care. The average person actually doesn't want to know all that stuff. So the more we talk about all that stuff, we're just talking about stuff that they don't want to hear. They don't want to hear it. They really don't care. You know what they're most interested in is their own life and the things that they need in their own life right now. Like just the day-to-day stuff of their life. And then the people who have problems, like the people who have a real problem, the thing they're interested in is, can you help me? That's pretty much it. They really don't care. We're going to get into the details of that here in a second. So what's the result of making these mistakes? Well, people are either bored, they don't even care what you're saying. They're confused, especially, the people who geek out on all the, write blog articles and, want like everyday people to read about qi and yin and yang or all the different functional medicine concepts. I mean, it's like, it just confuses people, even really smart people, even people who are like engineers and lawyers and physicians are confused by that. Okay. or they just flat out like get annoyed. I mean, honestly, like it's annoying to listen to somebody sit there and talk about themselves. And that's essentially what, in all of the cases that I just mentioned, that's pretty much what we're doing. We're talking and thinking about ourselves. By not wanting to solve serious problems, we're protecting ourselves from, from our own fear. And by geeking out on things and talking about all the details, we're just focusing on stuff that we like, right? So the result is nobody pays attention to you, basically. I mean, if someone's bored or they're confused or they're annoyed, they're just going to like move on to something else. So if you want people to pay attention, if you think that we are marginalized and that nobody like believes in what we do and that it's their fault, I just got news for you. You're wrong. You're just not speaking the right way. You just don't have the right language. That's it. Because everybody who is in pain wants less pain. Everybody who is depressed wants, well, not everybody. There are people who actually don't want to get better. But, we're not talking to those people anyway with our message. Our message actually weeds those people out, people who don't want to get better. And the people who just want to stay sick. We weed those people out very, very quickly with the process that I teach. But the bottom line is that, when we're speaking to people who really do want to get better, someone who wants less pain, somebody who wants less depression, somebody who wants to have, more energy because they're tired all the time or they can't sleep or whatever, and they have a serious problem, then we need to talk to them. They're going to pay attention when we're focused on that, not on us. All right. So what's the cure? What's the cure for all these problems, right? Again, it's to talk about their problem in their language. So the one word they want to hear, honestly, that's going to get their attention more than anything else is simply the name of their problem. The name of their problem. So instead of this, bored, confused, annoyed, and nobody paying attention to your message, suddenly you have their attention. Trust me, you have their attention. You definitely have their attention. And they start to engage with you. They start to want to know more. They start to have questions. Because why? Now they know it's about them. At the end of the day, let's just be real about people. And this is human nature. This is not me being cynical or whatever. It's just me. It's just the truth. People, the most important thing in a person's life is themselves and their own problems. Okay? That's it. That's the most important thing in people's lives. Their own stuff. Right? So that's why when you have a message that says the name of their problem and they identify with that name, then you're talking about them. And then they want to know more. And then they actually connect with you. If your marketing message is congruent enough with them. So that's the key. And we're going to get into that in a later lesson. We're going to talk about some of the deeper ways to make sure that your message is truly, truly going to cause them to feel really motivated to reach out to you. So again, people are listening, they're engaging, and they're connecting. So not only that, but when you talk about problems in standard language, what do I mean by standard language? Like just plain English, like what's the problem? Not let's come up with some new name or let's talk around the problem. Like for instance, I see this a lot with people who want to specialize in fertility. They'll talk about irregular cycles. They'll talk about regulating the cycle. They'll talk about fertile potential. They'll talk about all these kinds of things. They won't say infertility. They won't say fertility, diminished ovarian reserve. They won't say poor egg quality, things like that. And it's like, that's what everybody else calls it. And that's what the people who have it call it. And expecting people to make, again, it's this situation where imagine that you're on one side of a cliff and someone else is on the other side of like a canyon or something. And you know how to build the bridge. They have no fucking idea how to build the bridge. Okay. They don't know how to build the bridge. Yet you're standing on your side waiting for them to build the bridge when it's up to you to build the bridge for them. So when you talk about problems in standard language, here's who you're talking to. People who have probably already been to a doctor. That's a good thing, actually. That's a good thing because people don't go to the doctor. Like, for instance, I always say, don't compete against Advil. You know how many acupuncturists are out here right now? And they're competing against Tums and Advil and NyQuil and Benadryl because they're saying, oh, I can help you with seasonal allergies. I can help you with headaches. I can help you with reflux. When people can just go down the street to the drugstore, walk in, spend $5 and have a whole bottle of pills that fixes that. Okay? People don't go to the doctor for just heartburn. They don't go to the doctor for just basic seasonal allergies. They go to the doctor when, they're having severe abdominal pain and going to the bathroom 15 times a day. Okay? And then they get diagnosed with like Crohn's disease or something like that. So you want to talk about these problems in standard language so you can be speaking to people who likely have already been to a doctor and they already know they have a problem. So again, like we talked about this yesterday, but there's a lot of people who their marketing is like mostly trying to convince people of problems that probably don't even exist. Like, for instance, oh, if you have seasonal allergies, it could indicate that you have leaky gut or something. I mean, people just don't care about that. They really don't. You're going to find those unicorns here and there who do. And, so you're going to get some patients, but if you want to really build a busy practice, that's not a message that's going to do it for you. Because again, if I've got 3 kids and I'm working a full-time job and I have to cook dinner every night when I get home and I have seasonal allergies and I can take a fucking pill to make them go away, that's what I'm going to do. All right? That's what I'm going to do every time. Whereas, and I'm talking about normal, everyday people. I'm not talking about people like us who are more holistically minded. We are the exception. And there are a lot of people who I know really appreciate holistic medicine and are very passionate about natural medicine who aren't practitioners. But even those people, okay, a lot of times are going to take the quickest way out because they also have lives. They're busy, right? So they already know they have a problem. So you don't have to like try to talk to them about and educate them on why their mild stomach ache can lead to memory problems or something. I don't know, So, just throwing it out there. They're 100 times more likely to self-select. In other words, they'll raise their hand and they'll ask for help. Okay. Again, that's also manifested in the fact that they went to the doctor. So again, if I'm driving to work and I have to stop every 10 minutes to pee, because I just can't stop going to the bathroom, I'm going to go to the doctor, right? If I have been trying to get pregnant for a year and nothing's happened, I'm going to go to the doctor. If a woman is having periods and she's bleeding for 2 weeks and having excruciating pain for the first week, she's going to go to the doctor. She's going to make her own decision to do that, right?
This is thepodcastfactory.com.